Hello everyone. We'll wait a few moments as people come in. I'll share my screen, talk for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to open up for discussion. So please put your mics on silence until then. After, we'll share the recording on the event page and open up a poll. My name is Erica, and I am just one of you. No one special in particular. I'd just like to put this idea on the table, and it's just a rough draft, and it still needs your contribution, love, and attention. But before I talk about it, I want to open our circle, our conversation, to include the earth that sustains us, the animals who we share this earth with, the wisdom of our ancestors, those who fell victims to the current unjust system, our present relatives in the struggle, many as political prisoners, and the future generations whose future we are trying to save. Let us be their voice. It feels good to be in a space where most people here, I hope, have arrived to a conclusion that we need to transition to a post-monetary society. And just to be clear about which particular system that is, I'll be brief and share the main points. The system we're advocating for goes by many names, but has these features. It is trade-free, which goes beyond moneyless. So no submission of power, privacy, trading information, being advertised to, etc. It is stateless, borderless, holistic, transparent, and free of coercion. This can work by replacing resource competition with resource sharing and collaboration. Property with access to all. Hierarchical authority with decentralized, horizontal, informed consent. Corporations and privatization with open sourcing. Labor systems with automation and volunteers. Globalization with localized production and distribution. Price market evaluation with network digital feedback metrics, which means using technology to replace the functions of money as a unit of exchange, unit of account, and storing value. Now we can move on to how to get there. So we can do that by coming together, staying together, and working together. And I'll break that down. The act of us coming together should be visible, as well as what we're coming together for. This is what the Common Heritage Pledge and Life Counter was created for. The pledge is a personal agreement to adopt a new system, and it was co-created by the community and relating organizations, 13 of which have endorsed the pledge. The Life Counter would show how many people signed the pledge, and we'll finally be able to quantify our efforts and make critical mass visible. The critical point is that the survival of the human species is closely tied to how we respond to climate and economic problems in this next decade. And this is becoming more and more understood by the masses. It's literally now or never. We have the vision, the technology, the knowledge, the wisdom, and now the sense of urgency to help people put things in perspective and take a chance on something new. Staying together shows progress. To stay together, we need to build a strong, resilient community and have the necessary tools to organize. To build a community, we need to be able to find each other first. We need virtual places to gather that are trade-free and lead to groups gathering locally. This can be achieved through the Commons, a social network and project management site that allows individuals to share their lives, efforts, build friendships, and trust. It is also allows organizations to have a sovereign place and tools to organize projects and tasks. It will help us feel the pulse of the movement with this data, and through something as simple as a map, show where all post-monetary economy supporters are, which is sure to be an inspiring sight as we watch it grow. Working together, we make epic things happen. We can do this by using swarm organization, which enables a large number of volunteers to cooperate on a common goal in quantities of people not possible without this framework. Empowering and supporting individuals to become mindful leaders. It allows a constant flow of information and creation in the most time and cost-effective way. Now let's get back to coming together and the pledge. The whole idea of this is based on the power of collective agreement. Each one of us has an individual power to say yes, and when we put it together, it amplifies the collective voice. After all, this is how currency works, a mass amount of people just believing in it. So we want to show this too, through the pledge. The first part is a declaration, and the second is the support of our transition to a new system, and how we want to replace this system, and pledge to volunteer after the transition. So it goes, I declare the earth as the common heritage for all life. I support a global transition to a system based on science and the earth's capacity to sustain us, replacing resource competition, money, trade, and private property with sharing Earth's resources, goods, services, technology, and knowledge. In this system, I pledge to voluntarily contribute my skills and motivations with my time and labor, to serve a community that serves me, that fulfills my basic needs, and does not subjugate me in any way. I do this with the knowledge that others will too, and hereby affirm my commitment for co-creating a better world for me and for all. So the goal would be to make critical mass, I just wanted to define common heritage real quick. So common heritage means that the earth and its resources belong in common and equal measure to us all, and that we all have a common responsibility to share the environment fairly among all who are alive today. We also have the responsibility to take care for it wisely, ensuring that resources are held in trust for future generations and are not claimed by individuals, corporations, or states. So the goal of this would be to make critical mass visible, which is around 250 to 350 million worldwide. This is the historical tipping point where an idea gets adopted by the masses. In order to do this, we activate local groups. And so I have a rough timeline here of what that could look like. I'll bring up here. Yeah, so that is a pretty loose timeline. Of course, it will change, but it really helps to see the big picture, that it's not just about a pledge, a signature, that it's so much more to that, and that we have a lot of work to do to get to this day, and that, it's going to be one thing needs to be accomplished before we move on to the other. So we just have to go at it step by step and keep reevaluating when we get there. The other offerings that Common Heritage would like to do, besides the social network, the pledge, and the counter, is the Founder Circle. So we'd like to facilitate the conversation between the founders of post-monetary economy supporters, organizations, and we'd like to continue to do that. That circle's already formed, just to continue to facilitate that conversation. Then we'd like to open up festival, like a yearly festival, all about the pledge and activism, and invite multiple organizations and have like a mini summit. We'd also like to eventually all the people working on this initiative to find a place where we can live and co-create. So we'd also like to see that happen. And then we'd like to have an activist mutual aid network. So we'd like to be kind of like the distributor network. So for all sorts of flyers and banners and shirts and pins and everything that you need, like as we're starting off, we'd like to support the local communities and getting those designs done, and also helping individual activists and having a fund to help support the people working on this in case of emergencies or anybody that's struggling. It would be wonderful to get that up and running as well. And all of this is based on we're just taking it step by step, and we're reevaluating as we come. So the first part of it was okay. I don't know. Somebody has moved this a bit. So yeah, this is kind of where we're at, and the crossroads for Common Heritage continuing really depends on a core group of people stepping up and really actively participating and adopting it as their own, really, and participating every day, every other day, and just being a part of the conversation, getting things done and helping us move towards these goals. So please check out the poll and vote on there, and we'll see maybe in about like 24 hours what the community has decided on this project. Thanks so much.